Am I the idiot for prohibiting my mother from seeing my child because she tricked him into thinking she's his mom? Throwaway to avoid anyone recognizing me. I have a now 3-year-old son who was living with my mom, his grandma, for a year while I was away getting myself together. For personal reasons, I will not explain why I was away for so long, but I felt I needed to better myself for my son. My mother agreed to take care of him while I was away. I FaceTimed with him whenever I could. Fast forward to last month, I came to my mother's house to pick up my son. He's happy to see me, and my mother and I are talking while he's playing with his dinosaurs. He suddenly looks up at my mother and says, "Mommy, I'm thirsty." I was obviously confused and asked my mother if she heard him call her mom. She laughed nervously and said that he had been calling her that for a while. She basically explained that while I was away she told him that she was his mom and to call her that. I laughed and told her that I wasn't comfortable with that, since she wasn't the one who birthed him. I told her he should know that she's his grandmother, not his mom. She got upset and told me that he needed a mother figure while I was gone, and she was just trying to fill that role for him. She said something along the lines of, "I've been his mother for a year now, and you can't change it." We went back and forth until it got to the point where we started raising our voices. She spat out some insults about me being a bad mom for being away for so long and how she should be his mom cause he doesn't need a mom like me. I simply told her that she isn't going to be seeing him anymore because I'm not comfortable with him calling her mom. We gathered his stuff and left after that. She blew up my phone for days, talked about some mess to family members, anything she could to make me feel bad. But I refused to forgive her, especially after all that stuff she said. Am I the idiot? Edit. A word for those of you saying I abandoned him. I didn't. I was too sick to take care of him. That's all I'm going to say about that. I couldn't be the best mother to him because of my medical issues. I wanted to be there for him. I didn't just dump him on my mother. I feel the need to explain that cause people are getting the wrong idea. It was possible for him to visit, but my mom said it would be best if he didn't see me like that because he'd be too young to understand. And I trusted her, so I did not allow him to visit. No, I wasn't in a mental hospital or rehab. It was for physical health reasons. A lot of you are saying you think I was in rehab because of the way I've worded things in my post. Rather than edit out the original, I'd just like to explain that it's probably not the best wording to use for this situation, and I understand that now. What I meant to say was I felt I needed to be in better health for my son. Getting myself together in my head pretty much means getting better and healthier. I apologize for that. This will probably be my last edit. My son is getting a therapist like a lot of you have recommended. I'm considering working things out with my mother, only because I don't want her fighting for custody. Still unsure though. Update. I just wanted to start out by saying thank you everyone for the feedback that you gave me and the judgments. Whether they were negative or positive, I took each and every one of them into deep consideration. I accepted the judgment, and indeed realized that I was also being an idiot. My son has since seen a therapist like a lot of you suggested he should. He's done pretty well, although the therapist suggested he continue therapy for a little longer, considering he's still confused about the situation. He knows I'm his mother, but essentially thinks he has two moms. I've done my very best to go slow with him and teach him who is his mom and who is his grandmother. Regarding his grandmother, I did what a lot of you suggested and let her FaceTime him every day for a couple hours, to not upset him. I did this until an incident involving her came up. I'm taking this to court. As much as I hate to further upset my son, I have come to the conclusion that she no longer needs to be in contact with us, at least not for a while. I'm sorry for all of you that this is disappointing. I just want to do what's best for my son. As for my health, I am slowly getting better in case any of you were wondering. I have to visit my doctor several times a month, but that's an improvement honestly. Thank you all. I wish this situation could have ended differently, but I was able to try to resolve it thanks to all of you. You're the idiot. She is clearly delusional and needs help, yet here you are posting online, basking in the validation. How someone can be so cold to their mother, I will never understand. Good luck, not the idiot. Your mother has lost all reason. Be merciless in your legal action. She tried to kidnap a child from his mother. Make sure she doesn't come anywhere near 100 kilometers from your son. What was she thinking? I suggest you move to a different city far away and cut all contact with your family. Delete social media. Make sure no one knows where you have gone. Should she go no contact with this grandmother? Let me know in the comments. Now, am I the idiot for making my late wife's daughter move out so I can date in peace? My late wife passed away about a year ago. We were together 10 years but not married until she became sick about a year before that. She has a daughter, Beth, who is 19 years old. Beth is taking college classes, but they are 100% online, so she has stayed at home, which is my house. I've owned this before my wife moved in, so it was never technically shared. I've wanted to be supportive of Beth but don't want her here indefinitely or until she's done with college. That's 3 more years and it makes dating super awkward. I had a lady friend over after a dinner date last week and she was snarky towards her and later told me I'm moving on too fast. I tried to have an honest talk about being ready to move on and date others, but she kept calling me an idiot. I'm just ready to move on with my life, but her presence is making that difficult. I told her I want her to move out at the end of this next semester, which would be the end of May, so 5 full months to find a place. She flipped out and told me I'm abandoning her to get laid. This isn't really the case. I just want to move on with my life and don't want to live with a 19-year-old any longer. She's still mad at me and is making living in my own home awkward. But she claims she can't afford to go anywhere else. Edit. I did not raise or adopt Beth. My wife was very clear that she was not looking for a replacement father for her. Beth never lived with me until 2 years ago when she was almost 18 when her mom moved in with me due to her being sick and needing more attention. I never played a fatherly role in her life. Before moving in, she and her mom moved every few years for a while. Beth didn't move until her senior year of high school because her mom needed my help. Obviously, I couldn't move the mom in without the daughter. Before giving her notice to leave, I tried to have a talk about ground rules for staying here, mostly including being polite to any guests of mine. She then went off on me for moving on with my life. That is when I made my decision. It wasn't exactly your traditional marriage. Before getting sick, my late wife never wanted to get married because her parents had such a nasty one, and her parents have been divorced a combined 4 times. I'm not religious, so I never felt the need to get married either. When she got sick, we realized her insurance was terrible while mine through work is much better. So it was a practical decision to get married so she could be added to mine. Even then, she affirmed I wasn't responsible for Beth. I'm not just trying to get laid like many have said. I'm moving on and trying to have a normal adult relationship. Update. Since this post, Beth and I had some long conversations about the near future. Beth was mad for a couple days, but yesterday came to talk to me and told me she realizes I've done a lot for her and wanted to thank me, but also acknowledged it's probably best for both of us to move on. She also recognized I have a right to move on at my own pace and apologized for lashing out at me. One of her best friends is looking to get her own place as well, so they will be looking into getting an apartment together, either by this summer or sooner. While we're not religious, as a holiday gift I told her I will pay her entire security deposit when she finds her place. Not entirely sure if we will keep in touch much after she moves out, but I'm glad we've come to an agreement that will allow both of us to move on without resentment towards each other. Thought some people might be interested due to the passionate responses I got. You're the idiot. It doesn't sound like you're being sensitive to the fact that she lost her mother. You don't have to let her lie with you, but you've also known her since she was 9, so I'm surprised she's not like a daughter to you. It's unfair for her to make you feel uncomfortable in your house, but she's relatively young and is probably hurt that you'd move on quicker than her. Now, for the next story. Am I the idiot for wanting to share the hotel room I booked with my girlfriend rather than sleeping with my friend who's going through a breakup? Me and my girlfriend have a friend couple. We have all known each other since junior high school. I've been with my girlfriend for almost 2 years now, but we've spent most of our relationship long distance as she lives in another state. Our friend couple has been with each other for approx. 6 years. We were planning on vacationing for the first time together in the summer along with our friend couple. It's a week that we have been planning since Christmas where we'll go to different shows, theaters, activities, etc. that we have not ordered yet. And so I booked my and my girlfriend's room first, in which we will only have to pay when we get to the hotel reception. My friend and his girlfriend have paid me for the plane tickets I bought us and will pay for themselves once they receive their hotel room. Now my friend is telling me that he might break up with his girlfriend before the trip, as they've apparently been struggling, but that they still love each other and it's for the best. But he still wants to go on the trip, especially since he has already paid for the plane tickets, and if she wants to join as well, he won't pay alone for the room that they booked together. Therefore, he would be more comfortable if we switched and we would sleep together while our girlfriends shared the other room. I asked why he would even want to still go if she's gonna be there. He said, again, that she wasn't the problem, only their situation was, so he believes that they'll still be friends after the breakup. He doesn't want to break up after the trip as he says that he's miserable and has to do this as quickly as possible. I understand that, and I don't want him to hurt for months just because of a planned trip. Quite honestly, I am a bit disappointed as well. I was looking forward to sharing a hotel room with my girlfriend for our first vacation together and spending our nights together without having to think about roommates. I suggested they could just rebook and order single rooms for themselves, but he sort of quickly injected that it wasn't optimal due to the pricing. I didn't say this out loud yet as he was still a bit upset, but I'm thinking it won't be much more expensive to change from a shared king-sized room to a single room, and for a vacation it is expected to spend some money either way if you're willing to still go with your potential ex. I also don't want him to be uncomfortable, so I'd probably be willing to do this new arrangement if there was no other way. I understand that the already paid plane tickets make it more difficult and that breakups happen and are shitty. I guess there's something that rubs me off the wrong way here though. So am I an idiot for still wanting to push for my plan for the sleeping arrangements and for wanting to spend my first vacation sleeping with my girlfriend and not my friend who is going to break up with him? Update. I expressed my concerns for the breakup and how it would affect our vacation together, specifically the room arrangements, and told her of my conversation with my friend. She basically said what you guys did. We have no obligation to rearrange our trip for their comfort if they're going to break up, so I shouldn't feel obligated to give up our room together for that. They, especially my friend, have the responsibility to work out something. We agreed that it's a weird situation overall, but with her support I felt even more confident. Well, my friend and his GF broke up as expected a few weeks after I made the post. I casually confronted my friend some time afterwards. Like, oh by the way, when we talked about you wanting to change the room arrangements, we're not really up for that, so if you can find another option then that'd be swell. More or less. He took it well and said he understood of course, but his GF ultimately wouldn't be joining us even though all of us said she was welcome to do so and that she could find another room or hotel, but it was her choice. We all agreed that it was his responsibility to find another person to join us if he didn't want to pay that much. He took responsibility for it, which I really appreciated. But in the end he had to pay the full price. She still had to pay for the plane ticket and the activities we were supposed to go on, but she said it was easy to earn back and didn't hold a grudge. We're still very good friends to this day. Overall, we had a good time on our trip. Although our friend was single and wanted to explore the nightlife more, me and my partner enjoyed our time together in our hotel room and the public areas. We had a blast. We also connected a bit more with my friend over drinks and fun days, so everything turned out alright in the end. Thank you for all the responses that made me realize that I need to work on my confrontation skills and express my boundaries for my own and my partner's interests. I'm hoping that this post will encourage others in my shoes to do the same and hopefully come to a solution as friends and adults. Be respectful, understanding, and don't forget that we all have issues that we struggle with. Best is to encourage growth to strengthen ourselves and our relationships. Not the idiot. Your plans for a getaway with your GF shouldn't suffer because he's going to break up with his lady. He either has to break it off before the trip or stay awkwardly with her in the same room. Not the idiot. Think about it from your girlfriend's perspective. She's been looking forward to this trip with you. It will be romantic, fun, something to remember for years. Then all of a sudden her amazing boyfriend wants to room with his friend over her. If I was your girlfriend, I wouldn't forgive you picking your friend's comfort over her special trip. Your friends need to figure out their own issues, and canceling a trip may be a consequence of breaking up.